Welcome to another Founder Wisdom Pod. We have Prashant Mahajan with us today. He's the co-founder at Klickrr, in charge of architecture and technical strategy in New Delhi, India. I'm in Oaxaca, Mexico, as usual. And he's been the co-founder of various companies, including Ovamba, Bag Out, and some other tech companies. So we're going to discuss his background here, what he's building, and see what he's up to. So bookridegpt.com is presenting this podcast. If you want to create a book off your LinkedIn posts, you can go to bookridegpt and it will create a nice Kindle book out of all your LinkedIn posts with AI in a couple of minutes. Free tokens on the house. So bookridegpt.com. Prashant, welcome to the pod. Tell me a bit more about yourself and what you're building there.
Sure. Hi, I'm co-founder and CTO at Klickrr. We are in marketing technology space, and we have a software that we give to our customers to do to essentially send texting or do text messaging in US.
Right, and tell me a bit more like how you got into that one because you founded a couple of companies as well. Why text messages?
Hmm. Right. So I have a very big history of working in startups. I started, I guess, my first startup in 2010. At that time, I was in Boston, and I had this idea. Well, essentially, my friend had an idea um, uh, to bring a job portal online at that time, and we started. We went to Harvard campus at that time and started doing coding. And we did for 3 months, and we stopped the idea there. So the bug of entrepreneurship started from there. And then back in 2013, a friend of mine, at that time I was working in Boston, and then a friend of mine here in India, he had an idea about e-commerce. And e-commerce was really doing pretty good in India. So I packed my bags and I flew down to India, um, left my job, started the company back out here in India. It did pretty well actually initially. It did make made news. We at one point of time we were getting like 50 to 100,000, 50,000 to 100,000 people per day on our website. It was doing very good. Um, but then I had a fallout. I just at some point of time I realized that this idea is not going to essentially blossom much. So I parted my ways, and then I another friend of mine who was working who was at that time in Joburg. He called me up. He said that he had a fintech idea. That was Wamba. So that's how I flew to West Africa, and we did pretty crazy stuff in Wamba. We did Wamba was something that really put me onto global scale, right? People knew the name of Wamba. Like Wamba was at one point in time was very popular company. We really raised multi-million dollars in fundraising. Did pretty well. Uh, but then at the end, our one of our funding rounds failed, and the company went bankrupt essentially. Uh, so the marketing director at that time, who's my business partner and and a good friend at Klickrr, we both met during a time in Ovamba in West Africa. So it struck the synergy struck. She went back to States, I went back to India, and she said that she had an idea about building a brand management software for marketing managers. So we started building the product, and it took us about 2 years. Um, so and we just didn't know what to do with the product. So one day the idea struck that let's put some jobs on Fiverr. So we put some jobs on some odd jobs on Fiverr, and somehow people liked it, and it just caught fire. Like everyone was asking about Klickrr, about texting, about this, about emailing, and yeah, that's how we started off. And within 1 year, we got lucky after that. Within 1 year, Klickrr became profitable. it's a bootstrap company, and we swore not to raise money on Klikkrr and build it from our own pockets. So we funded the company from our own pockets in 2019 or 20. And then we have been profitable. We have been doing pretty good. The revenues are doing pretty fine so far, and yeah, it's a proper business now.
Tell me about your fallouts and the company going bankrupt. How did you survive emotionally to that?
Yeah, yeah, those are the stories that everyone wants to hear. Um, so fallout happened in here in India, and I think that at that time, so I had two fallouts. First in 2010, there was a company called there was a small company called My Sensei. Couple of co-founders from Harvard. There was me and there was another guy. We were the technical co-founders, and I was pretty young at that time. So uh, so the management co-founders they said that they wanted to outsource the dev part to China. So at that point of time, I had this big ego. Okay, if I know how to code, why would I outsource to anybody? I would code everything myself. As a dev, you have this developer's ego. And then I said that if you have to outsource the coding part or dev part to somebody, why do you need me? So it was a clear fallout at that time. For bag out, the company was doing good actually. Um, the problem was that the idea we were constantly changing the idea. The first version of the product was about social shopping, and then we pivoted to coupons and cashbacks, and then later on we pivoted again to um, collections of fashion clothing. Now that part was something that was so niche, and that was essentially out of my space as well. I just didn't connect with the idea.
What is passion clothing?
And it's fashion clothing, fashion, um, right? Not fashion, but I just didn't understand the idea that much. So I could build the product, but there is one thing about building a product, and there is another thing about, what should I say, living the product. So I just couldn't live the product. So that was like, and this is not for me. And good luck to you, but yeah, I don't think that I'll be able to code or I mean, I'm a coder at heart, right? So if I don't understand the product, it's very hard for me to actually build a product that has a life of its own. So
And
a
then
life of
bankruptcy was another beast of its own. It's just you
yeah.
wanted to do it, but like
Mm.
yeah, it wasn't sticking around. It didn't have a product market fit.
So bankruptcy it was actually pretty funny. Now I call it funny. At that time, I was crying under my pillow. Um, so with Wamba, we raised significant amount of money over the period of time from 2015 till 2022, 2022, 23. Um, and it was essentially a fintech that used to source money, source funding from West, US, Europe a little bit, and then we were investing the we were investing the money in Africa in a very Sharia way. The legal way was the Sharia way, and the business was doing okay actually. It was doing pretty good. And then we got an opportunity from a friend of ours, and we met with the VC, and we were supposedly in the process of raising $700 million at that time, and that would have made our valuation to $2 billion. Um, and we had a staff about 40 odd people at that time, mostly in West Africa. Some of them were in US. Few of them were in India at that time as well. So we were spread across, and Joburg as well. A few of them were in Joburg. So we had a pretty decent payroll to run. So when we knew that the funding is going to happen, and the DD happened and everything else happened, obviously you tend to assume that the money will be shown up in your bank in like a month or so, and so you will raise the salary of employees, you will do big commitments to your employees as well, and the money didn't come. So if the money didn't come, what do? You overnight, right? Your company, you cannot pay the salaries, you cannot pay the dues. So there is only so much that you can do. And that was an interesting time in my career. So yeah, that's how it happened. So one day,
And why did it come? Like they never wired it, or
yeah, they didn't wire it. Eventually we figured out that the people who were supposed to pay us the money or wire the money, they were fraudsters. Um, and they were running a Ponzi scheme, and they were doing the same thing to others as well. And so they took significant amount of money from our side as well, to do the DD and this and that. And at the end, after a couple of years, we figured out that the U.S. government had charged them, and they have been arrested. The people that we were in communication with. So we were
it's
not the
pretty
only one.
insane.
So we were not the
Yeah, I
only one.
guess you need to do your DD as well on your side, right? As a
Yeah,
lesson.
that's why I'm against raising money now. I mean, if you have the money, if you have the balls big enough, then yeah, run your own company, run out of your own money, and if you actually truly believe in the product, then you should be able to make profit out of it,
And
and
what
not
are
to.
you building at Klickrr now? You have 100 clients. What do you guys charge on a monthly basis? And what's your GTM strategy?
So there are different customers who pay differently. So few of them are on subscription basis. It ranges from our smallest customer is the one who's paying us $29 on a monthly basis to $200,000 per year. Right. So it's different customers will have different versions of the product. Um, we do have multi-tenant product as well. So for the smaller customers, we have one version of the system. If you are an enterprise one, we'll have a dedicated software only for you, because it requires separate or a different type of software. So it depends on the type of customer. Essentially, different customers will have. So it's not just about texting; it's actually about what do you do with the texting. Are you trying to reach out to somebody? Are you trying to broadcast a message to your fan following? So it changes with the customer.
Right. And why do people still text? Is it like on the back end once someone signs up for something, or is it on an outbound side as well, like directly sending outbound SMS to strangers?
No. That would be non-compliant. So you legally in US, I don't know about other countries, but legally in US, you cannot just send um, an unintended message to anybody. Your number and your account will be banned immediately, and it should be banned essentially as well. So you need to be compliant. That is the number one criteria, with the list as well as with the message as well. And that is the part that we take care of through our software, so that there is a seamless mechanism in which our customers don't have to worry about compliance. We take care of the compliance via the software and via services. Um, yeah, and
And how do
that's
you
the part.
acquire your clients? Is it ads? Is it reference? Like, how do you
Hmm.
grow?
So we have been pretty lucky, that most of our bigger customers have come from our existing customers recommending others. So that has been the biggest strength of Flickr. And the other strength that I and my business partner Bianca believe is that our strength has been that most of our customers have actually stayed with us. We have the customers that started working with us like 5 years ago, and they're knock on the wood still with us. So the customer journey has been cumulative, and there has been very less attrition. For the acquisition, we do have a sales team who go to conferences. We do have PPC team as well who run PPC ads, but it's less of that, but it's more of the customer retention that has made our company into a state, into a good state, or into a solid state.
And how much do you pay per SMS credit? And how much do you charge? What are your margins like?
It changes with customer to customer. It depends on the volume essentially. It ranges from 0.05 per text to 0.03, depending on the volume and depending on the frequency that you wish to send the message to, and depending on the type of message as well. But that is
And
this one.
that's what you charge, right? Like, what do you pay for?
So carriers have not been very, very rewarding lately. So we give out like 0.01 to 0.017 at times, but it changes. It keeps on changing
And
depending
that's
on.
who you pay, right? You pay carriers, and is the business model just buying a bunch of credits up front? You get a discount, and then you resell them to clients, or
No, 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 no. We don't sell SMS credits. We sell them the software, and our customers use our software, and we have a deal with different customers. So some of the customers come up with their own accounts, and we just sell them the software. Some of the customers do the texting credits, and we sell them the texting credits. So it's
got
as
it.
as
So you don't sell them the credits. You don't make profits on the credits. You just sell them a monthly plan.
it's weekly, monthly. Yeah, it could be monthly, it could be weekly. Yes, you can say
And
that.
there's so many providers of that of
Hmm.
SMS services. How do you distinguish yourself?
So, but I think our USP is ease of use for the software, and number one, and there is very less bullshit in our software. So it's not very feature rich, if I would say so. But I don't think that is a weakness of a system. That I think is a strength of a weakness. That the users are not really confused. They have, we shut off those features that they don't need. You just need a workflow, we'll get the workflow, that's it. If you want more features, we'll enable those features as well. But yeah, UX I think is the biggest, and then the services, the support system. I think that has been the backbone of our company.
Any AI integrations right now, either at the customer service level or at the platform
Hmm.
dashboard level?
Yes. So customer service level, we don't do AI right now. It's human. All of it is human. For the platform, yes, we are using AI for different aspects of the system. For drafting a message, for changing a message. SMS is very similar to Twitter, right? It has you have 160 characters, so you need to be very creative in 160 characters only. So for that, AI is a huge part. Right.
And what's on your product pipeline this year? What do you have on the growth map?
So more of AI for sure. I think that, and I'm not saying something that you may not have heard of. Everyone is saying is going gaga over AI. So we are doing that one as well. And we really want to pitch, not pitch, but we really want to showcase our product more on the enterprise level now. Like people who would really purchase like 10 15 accounts or per seat license uh, type of customers. So that's our goal. So to do that, we will need sort of a CRM and an ERP type of system within our software. So that's mostly in our pipeline.
Right. And how do yeah, the CRM, I guess, would also demonstrate that ROI of the software to the clients, right?
That what?
The ROI, how do
Yeah.
you demonstrate the ROI? How can clients calculate the ROI of your software?
Uh, I mean, we cannot really track right now without CRM. So yes, once we'll have the CRM, then they will be able to track. Most of our existing customers, they track the ROI on their side rather than on our side so far. But we do give them the delivery report and the click-through report, and then they are able to calculate the ROI.
And what's challenging of running that type of company?
Challenge. I mean, I think that the challenge is manpower, since we are not funded, we are not VC funded. We are bootstrapped. So the decisions have to be honest, essentially, as opposed to faking the decisions. Um, and honest, when I'm saying honest, I genuinely mean what is right for the customer, and and yeah, I mean, what is right for the customer, I think is the biggest challenge for us, because at times it's sort of difficult for you to realize that you have that you have ample amount of money, but you don't have infinite money. So the resources have to be, the prioritization has to be done right, um, for the customer, and not just for the customer, not just for the company all the time, or not for the employees all the time.
Right. Thanks for coming on, Prashant. Where can people find out more about you?
They can look us up on our website, klickrr.com, klickrr.com. It's double R and starts with K, and they can find us on LinkedIn as well, by the same name.
Thank you so much. So that was Prashant Mahajan.